First thing you'll have to do is, again, remove the covers. Go ahead and take off all the screws on the big top best cover. Then you can remove that to get access. Okay, once you're inside of here, it's a good idea to kill power once you get this in position. And what I like to do, I like to have it a little bit free and clear of the actual lockdown of the actuators. As you can see, that actuator is starting to lift. It's also doing that. That's another really good visual. You can see the pitch of that mid plate changing as the actuator pulls on that. That should normally not do that to that degree. That's another indicator that there's a broken spindle in there. Once I get that freed up a little bit, that just gives me a little bit of movement on this lamp tree, so I'm not wedged and locked in with that actuator. At this point here, I generally will kill power to this light tower. You'll be unhooking wires in here. They should not be activated or hot wires unless the button on the controller, but when it comes to, safety's sake, I'm always in favor of pulling the plug. On an actual light tower, the best way to do that would be go into this entrance box and remove the power wires coming in from your generator, tape those off, then you're absolutely sure that nothing can get you. You can manually maneuver this around too. If you would need to move anything. This is generally about the position that I would go ahead and start this procedure though. So I will just kill power to this. You'll be able to tell your indicator lights will go out on it. And again, with the controller, you'll have no motion, no movement. Now I'm fairly safe to go in here and work on this. Inside of here, the next thing that you're going to find, the actuator will be in here. There's also a junction box right underneath the top of this actuator. This is where we're going to start unhooking the wires. These run down through that slip ring, come out the underside of that, so we need to remove these to get up to this. The first thing you'll want to do is to go ahead and get the actuator loose of this lamp tree. So again, this will take a couple of 3/4 inch wrenches. Another good reason why you want to take a little bit of this strain off of this actuator. Now I've got the actuator free. As you can see, I can move that up to get positioning. You'll also need to remove, there's one other cover here on the back. It's not necessary that you have to do this, it just makes it a little bit easier. What it is the cable from this lamp tree is actually wire tied into here. So yeah, I go ahead and cut these off. It just gives me a little more movement of that box once I get it free. Okay, once you get the actuator loose of the lamp tree portion of it, you'll be able to access the 4 screws that hold the top of this junction box on. Okay, once inside of here, you will see a couple of holes coming down through the center of that. These are the actual slip ring wires coming up through the rotation platform. And then this the junction strip that runs on out through this cable and on out to the lamps and the strobe and the upper actuator. So on here, what you're gonna have to, what you'll need to remove are the lower wires, the ones going down through the holes. Another good reason to have that power off, if any of those switches were activated, this being an AC light tower, these will be carrying 110 volts on some of these wires. Once I've got the slip ring wires loose, I will generally go ahead and loosen up the little seal con nut in there. And all that is it just keeps water from getting in on the upper actuator into that box there. Okay, once you've got that box free, you'll notice in front of that, you'll find 3 hex head bolts. There's also 2 in here. And what this is there's a series of 8 of these all the way around. The other 3 are recessed and they're underneath that box. So once you've got these removed, you will have to pop this box up and get to access the back ones. Another thing I do at this point too is I go ahead and tape my wires into the 2 bundles that come up through those holes. Just makes it a lot easier pulling them in and out through the holes when we remove this upper mid plate section. We'll go ahead and take these loose. You will note on these 2 that 5 of these are longer and 3 are shorter. The 3 short ones go into the recessed ones under the box. Please make sure you get them back into the right position. If you put one of the longer bolts into the recessed holes and tighten it down, you will snap the bolt. Once I've got the 2 bolts loose under that box, you'll notice that box still doesn't want to come up. The reason for that is we go ahead and around the holes there, we put a bead of silicone. If water would get into this box, we are trying to prevent it from running down those holes and getting into there. So you will need a flat bladed screwdriver or a pry bar. Just kind of get under this box a little bit, and it will take a little bit of prying. At this point, you will be able to remove the slip ring wires. You can tuck the junction box back out of the way, and then you're just basically left with a mid plate. This will also expose your remaining 3 bolts back there. Okay, at this point, you will actually be free of the rotation platform will be free of the mid plate itself. A lot of people will go ahead, take these set screws out, drive this pin out, and that would allow you to remove this entire lamp tree portion of that. I've found it's much quicker just to go ahead by putting this back in position here. You'll probably find you're a little bit off of where that bolt will go through. Anything placed through there can work. All you're really doing is locking these 2 guys together. This will allow you to move this. It will not allow this rotation platform to swing down from the lamp tree. Again, I'll put this back up just to keep it out of my way. And on an actual truck, the best way to do this is to just straddle it again and slide it forward, clearing the slip ring wires. This one being up on a table, a little more difficult. The lamp tree with the mid-plate assembly is probably in the 90-pound range. If you have a helper, very definite wise to have somebody help you. I will generally, if I go up where I can get up on top of that, I will just bring it forward. All I have to do is get it far enough forward where I'm clearing this. It was just easier for me on this one to take it clear off.